And welcome back once again to one of my catch-up videos for 2018, and this one is on Beautiful Boy. Beautiful Boy stars Steve Carell and Timothy Chalamet, is based off of the real-life story of Dave Shep and his son Nicholas, and also deals with the strained relationship between a father and his drug-addicted teenage son. It's actually based off of two separate books. There's shit, let me look these up real quick. Let's go ahead and cut. Okay, I got it. It's actually based off of two separate novels by the two main characters because it is based off of a true story. You've got David Sheff's Beautiful Boy, a father's journey through his son's addiction, and Nicholas Sheff's Tweak, growing up on methamphetamine. Now, before I get into my thoughts on the film, I do want to throw out my normal disclaimer. For those of the uninitiated, those who've never seen any of my videos, the way that I break everything down is I do a pro and con list. You know, pro is everything that I enjoyed about the movie, and the cons are everything that I either found was lacking in quality, or maybe they were just bad in general. I try to keep these sections separate, but also sometimes I'll utilize one of my thoughts to transition into another one, especially if the pro and con, kind of match up in what is being discussed. But anyway, there's your disclaimer. Let's go ahead and get into the review. This film showcases two of the best male performances of 2018, in my opinion, from both Carell and Chalamet. I'm for one, not really surprised because both of them have been nominated for Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, whatever Oscars before. And, you know, with the latter being the most recent with Call Me By Your Name. And Chalamet showcases in this film that not only is he a great actor, but a versatile one as well. Because Nicholas Sheff in this film is a complete 180 from Elio Perlman in Call Me By Your Name. The film also does something that I haven't seen a lot of movies do recently, and is one that I actually really love. And it's, while they're not doing interesting cinematography tricks or even edits, the director would just set up a camera or two in one section and just solely focus on the performances of the actors in that in whatever respective scene that they're in, making said performances feel raw and untouched by pretty much anyone except for those who are actually acting it out. It's something that you see in a lot of older movies, especially in the 70s, and it's a type of filmmaking technique that I wish I saw a little bit more. Definitely a highlight for me was the overall writing in the movie. You become connected with all of these characters early on, which helps with a lot of the later scenes where you're supposed to feel dread and just feel extremely uncomfortable because of what is going on. And plus, it did actually help that I didn't know much about the story or, pretty much, yeah, just the story. I didn't know the backstory. I didn't even know that it was based off of a true story until maybe a week or so before I actually saw the movie. And so it made certain scenes, especially those close to the end, quite terrifying and also quite brilliant. That being said, though, this movie does have its flaws. Like, my biggest complaint is the music. I was a little confused as to where they were going with it fairly early on. One time you would hear something dark and brooding, and then the next it would be something synthetic, and then it would just be straight up jazz or gospel. It kind of took me out of the film a little bit, and it also has a few moments where the performances were giving me goosebumps and tears were starting to form, but, just one sad song would start playing, and then it would take me out of the movie. It didn't help with, regulating my emotions, or at least, like, keeping me actually in the movie, not thinking, oh shit, I'm actually here, I'm not there. There were also a few scenes that I do consider pointless, or maybe that they dragged on a little too long, and it did hurt the pacing for me. And also, it becomes a little hard to follow after a while because of some flashback sequences, and the way that they are structured with the appearance of the different characters. It actually made it increasingly difficult to tell what was present day and what wasn't, mostly because of the fact that some of the characters, especially the two main characters, look the exact same, except maybe a slight clothing style difference, if anything. But luckily this only happens in the first act, and by the second act they mostly focus more on the present day, or at least present day for the movie. And those are my feelings on Beautiful Boy. Overall, I'd say that I did enjoy the movie, but I was expecting a lot more, especially since this was a movie that came out in the Oscar season, and I actually thought that just looking at the trailers and the promotional material, I actually thought that this was a potential thing in the running for at least a couple of awards categories, and it wasn't. And I think that was mostly because just as a movie, besides the, besides the acting and of course the thing with the writing and the cinematography that I enjoyed, it's mostly a middle ground film. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't hesitate to hit that like button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with everything that's going on in the channel. And also, don't forget to keep the conversation going down below in the comments section, especially if you have seen this movie. I enjoy seeing what you guys think about the movies and topics that we talk about, and also getting your guys' points of views on everything. Anyway, all that's left to say for me is farewell until the next video, all you movie fans and casual moviegoers alike, and keep on being awesome.